that the router concept of a router actually came up by a guy called William Bell Rieger. That was the guy who actually came up with the concept in the history of these routers and switches. And switches, Cisco system also claimed that they are the inventor of switches, but Cisco is not actually the vendor and actually the inventor of switches, because switches was invented by a company called Kalpana Switches. And these are the company who actually also invented this technology called ether channel, which you might have studied into your CCNA course. We'll talk about that later on. So this Kalpana Switches seems to be an Indian company, as the name you can find out that Kalpana. So it was some guy named was Vishal or something. He was there in US. He started a small company, and there he actually developed the concept of first switch. And then Cisco acquired that company. Cisco took that company, and now Cisco says that they are the inventor of those two devices. So they started their manufacturing devices from routers and switches. Then they moved into different tracks that you have right now. Now, Cisco came up with Cisco certification. The first certification into Cisco was into routing and switching only, because, as I told you, that they started their journey from routers and switches. So, first certification in Cisco certification track is the CCENT certification. Then your CCNA, you might have seen that pyramid on Cisco's site. So we here have the entry level certification. Then we have associate. Then we have professional, expert, and then we have the architect. So why we need certification? Why Cisco came up with certification? You, as I told you, that Cisco started manufacturing routers and switches. So when Cisco started manufacturing routers and switches, they started selling those products to their clients. So when we have any issues with those devices, we need certified technicians who can work actually on those technologies. It's like any home appliance you have in your home, let's say washing machine, air conditioner, phone, or any other electronic device that you have in your phone. Whenever there's a problem with that device, you need someone who is expert actually into that, and who can actually troubleshoot the problem with that device. So same thing, when you buy a router, you buy a switch, build a network using those devices, you need someone who can actually work on those technologies to resolve the issues related to those technologies. So when Cisco came up with routers and switches, they have to come up with a certification track in routing and switching. Then they started manufacturing different devices, they moved into security. So you have a track into the security as well. So Cisco actually started manufacturing firewalls and all. So then they came up into the security track, which is here in associate level. We have CCNA security. The one which you have recently done is CCNA routing and switching. Then Cisco started manufacturing the products like in voice. They started manufacturing call manager, IP phones. So when they started manufacturing IP phones and call manager, like VoIP devices, they came into the track of voice.
Yes.
Then recently, then same goes for wireless, same goes for each other
Data.
Each other track, right? So we also have CCNA DC recently. This Cisco has come when they started manufacturing Nexus storage devices, MDS and UCS. They came up into this track of CCNA DC, CCNP DC. Now, in each track, you also have the CCNP certification. So like we are going to do here, the CCNP routing and switching. Same thing you have into each and every track. So why you need those certification is not RMS here. So you need those certifications so that you can get certified and you can actually work on different technologies into the Cisco. So we have CCNP wireless, and same goes into security as well. Same goes for your CCNP. Then you have this IE certification, right? So CCI routing and switching, and you can go in the same way to each track. Now the certification that we are going to focus here and we are going to complete here is CCNP routing and switching. So CCNP routing and switching exam. Yeah, Vikram. Vikram, can you hear me? Yeah, hi
Hello?
Vikram. Good morning, Vikram. How are you? Yes, Vikram. Where are you from? You're from India, right? Okay, fine. So I was just talking about Cisco certifications that different tracks into Cisco certification, and the one which we are going to talk is CCNP routing and switching. So CCNP routing and switching, or yeah, Vikram, you should be able to hear me.
No, it's clear for us.
Yes, yes, that's what. It's not clear for Vikram. Vikram is complaining about it. So I was just
Maybe
checking with Vikram.
shows in internet connection.
Yes, sir. Vikram, check your internet connection because everyone else is able to hear me.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yes, yes. So, so now let's start with the CCNP routing and switching certification. As you know, that if you move to any other different certification track, let's say you want to go for CCIEDC, you want to go for CCIE security, you want to go for CCIE voice, you want to go for CCIE wireless, or any that's different track, up to CCNP routing and switching knowledge is must. Okay, it's not actually like you have to do it, but it's highly recommended that you at least go up to CCNP routing and switching before you move into voice, wireless, security, or any other track into Cisco certification. Why is that recommended? Because this RNS track, this routing and switching track, is the one where you actually learn to build the roads, right? In routing and switching, using our devices like routers and switches, we actually build our routes. So if you talk about any other technology, let's say I want to implement some wireless, okay, I want to implement some voice traffic, I want to put some security, I want to put some data centers. Where you will put your data center if you don't have routes? Where you will put checkpost on the road where there is no route? Where you will forward voice traffic where there is no route? So it's like you work on any different technology. You whether you are working into data center, whether you are working into a security environment, voice environment, wireless environment, any other different tech. This up to the CCNP routing and switching is highly recommended. Okay, so this is gonna be really important for you guys, no matter which track you are moving in, because this is where you actually learn the topic that you have recently covered into your CCNA track into more detail. So let's not waste the time, and I'll take you to cisco.com to show you this certification page. You must be already familiar with this. I'll just make it a fresh thing for you. So you go to training and events, and under training and events, you go for Cisco certification here, popular links. Under popular links, you need to click on Cisco certifications. So when you click on Cisco certification, you will go down and that start from the entry level certification, then associate as we were talking. So here we start with the what this adds up. So first you start with CCENT, then you move into associate like CCNA certification, right? Then you move to professional level, which are like CCDP, CCNP, routing and switching, data center, security, and all those tracks. Then if you go down, you have this expert level certification, which are like CCI collaboration, CCI data center, routing and switching, security. So no matter which track you move in your future, this up to CCNP routing and switching is highly recommended. Now, the one certification that we are going to discuss here is the professional level certification, which is going to be the CCNP routing and switching. So when you click on that CCNP routing and switching, you can move down. So here CCNP is a 3 exam actually. So 300, 101 route, switch, and T-shoot. So this, as I told you, that this is my routing and switching certification. So I was talking about the devices, right? So whichever device you are working on, whichever environment you are working on, you have to work on those devices. So like when you are working on routers and switches, so this routing and switching track is something that we are going to learn on 2 devices. That's going to be routers and switches. Routing part into our CCNP routing we are going to do on routers, and switching part we will be doing on switches. So these are the 2 devices that we have to do here into our CCNP routing and switching track. So route, when you click on route, we will start first with the route. So here the exam is 300101. This is the exam code. You get 120 minutes of time to do this exam, and it will be with 45 to 65 questions, and there will be 3-4 lab simulations also. Pretty simple, not going to be very difficult. So if you have gone through the classes well, then this is not going to be a big thing for you to do. So the one thing that I would like to take from this page is the review the exam topics. Okay, so CCNP is 3 exam: 300101 route, 300115 switch, and 300135 shoot. When you clear all 3 exams, you get your CCNP certification in routing and switching. So I'm going to take that route blueprint. This is something that we are going to download, which is going to have all the topics that we should actually cover obviously into our CCNP route certification. Till the time it's getting loaded, I'll just go to slide back again and we'll talk about a few other things. So first of all, I would like to tell you before I start the topic how to study. Okay, this is gonna be my recommended way of doing the studies for our Cisco certification. So the first thing that we are going to use for our studies is going to be the classroom training that we are going to do every day. Okay. So don't miss the classes until you have something very important to do that you can't skip. Otherwise, don't miss the class, because each class is going to be related to the next class. And because as I'm telling you that I'm going to take all the topics from the blueprint itself, the document. Okay, so all the topics that I'm going to cover will be from the blueprint itself, which is going to be here. So I'll just click on download the complete list of topic in PDF. Okay, so this is going to be the official layout of your CCNP route certification. Okay, so network principle 10%, layer 2 technologies 10%, layer 3 technology 40%. So this is telling the rate of all these technologies that they have divided into 6 different sections. So each technology is going to cover this rate. So
can you copy the link in chat session so that we can download also?
yes, so I'll just copy this and paste it to your chat. Good. You can click on this link and get that blueprint on your own drive, so that we can do everything basically from blueprint. Now, I've got that PDF on my computer. I'll just go to this one is here. So then I try to open it. This is what is the blueprint we call for CCNP route certification. Okay, so the exam code number 300101, implementing Cisco IP routing. And see, don't make it very difficult and complex for you guys. These all certification, if you just dedicate yourself and if you just get some of your time, and that time if you dedicate to the certification, these devices, then it's going to be very simple. As I told you, CCNP routing and switching that we are going to learn here, we just need to learn 2 devices, right? Not more than that. We need to learn how few technologies work on routers, and how few other technologies works on switches. And here you will see most of the topic will be the basics, the foundation of those topics we have already covered into your CCNA certification. I'm just going to dig deep into those things, and including other extra topics that will be a part of your the PDF blueprint that we have. So this is going to be fun doing it. Just take it as if you're learning few features about some devices. Just like when you buy a new phone, to learn all the features and the functions of that phone, do you go to attend some classes that how does that phone work? No, you just play with that device and you automatically get familiar. So here, these routers and switches are also devices, but they work on some different type of technology, a little bit complex technology compared to your phones and washing machines and air conditions, which is not very difficult to operate. But here we are going to learn this technology in a very simple way. But you should actually follow the correct way of learning. That I'll tell you how to learn actually, and how to prepare for the certification, and how to prepare and how to actually um, learn in depth of each topic that should be a part of your CCNP route certification. I'll come on that later. So first, I'll take you through all the topics that we are going to cover here. So here, the first section starts from network principles. That network principle is going to have 10% in your exam. So this is like CEF. Okay, there's 2 things that we have is CEF. So in identify your Cisco Express forwarding concepts, we have FIB, we have and sensitivity. Guys, have you heard about FIB before?
Never.
CEF. Guys, if you can speak, you can speak. Otherwise, you can post your questions in the chat box, and whatever, if you want to talk to me, you can just post in chat. I'll just check over there. So this SEF is basically your you might have heard about RIB, routing information base.
Yeah.
Yes. So this FIB is something that is built up from that RIB. Okay. We are going to build this FIB, and remember, router never uses your RIB. Router is never going to use your routing table for the forwarding. The forwarding is done on a Cisco router by default, is by this Cisco Express forwarding. Okay, by default I said, because by default Cisco Express forwarding is enabled on a router. So by default, routers always take decision based on FIB. Now it depends when to take decision from RIB and when to take decision from FIB. That's a different cases that we are going to cover later. So first we will do SEF. So I'll quickly take this topic review. I'm not going to talk all the topics one by one here, because we have uh, more time to cover on those things later. I'll just show you what are the topics we have. Then a few network challenges like unicast, out of order packets, and these things. Then we will talk about ascribe IP operations like ICMP unreachable. So when you ping a destination, if you get host unreachable, you get destination unreachable, you get some other errors, you get dot dot dot, you get UUU. So what all those things actually mean to you, and technically, because this is going to be very, very important, because most of the time the daily basis job that you do in your production environment is using few very important tools, right? That is the ping. Always the first tool for a troubleshooting is what? To ping. Next is what? To trace, right? So these are very important tools, and these both work on what? The both tool works on the ICMP protocol, Internet Control Message Protocol. So that's what they are telling, that you should learn actually about the ICMP unreachable messages, then ICMP redirect messages, then fragmentation, and then TTL, time to live value. So we'll talk about them. Then I'll move to TCP operations. We will talk about the TCP header and all those windowing, all those fields that should be a part of a TCP protocol. Then UDP will move. Then we're going to move further down for layer 2 technologies. There we are going to learn the WAN protocols, first of all, the PPP and HDLC also. Here they have mentioned only PPP. We will also learn HDLC, a little bit of that. Then we'll come to PPP, more on it, because that is specially mentioned into the blueprint of the CCNP. And here we are also going to use authentication like PAT and chat. And then frame relay. Did you guys do frame relay in your CCNA? Yes, guys, did you do your CCNA and the frame relay topic into your CCNA classes?
Actually, I missed that class.
Okay. So we are again going to take that.
I will schedule it for weekends like Friday or Saturday.
Sorry?
No, sorry. Thank you. Nothing.
Yeah. So then after frame relay, the most time we are going to spend is on our routing protocols, that we will start from this R, DSCP, the address type, unicast, broadcast, a little bit overview from the CCN itself. You might have already learned about this addressing, IPv4 for addressing and subnetting, right? And the PLSM. Then I will move into the IPv6. We'll talk about that. Later on, we'll move to static routing, default routing, distance vector link state. Then we will move to these are the new topics that are added, like VRF Lite, which is majorly used into your MPLS environment. So I'll also MPLS is not a part of the CCNP route, but after finishing all those topics, if we have, we I will also take a little bit of introduction about MPLS and that MPLS with BRF line. Okay. Then filtering we are going to do configure verifying filtering with any protocol like RIP, EIG, RP, or SPF. Even with BGP, we will do filterings, redistribution. So without wasting a lot of time on this blueprint, I'll just take you through all these topics. So RIP, EIGRP, then OSPF, then you move down to BGP, then VPN technology. These are the new things that are added. See here, I'll tell you the detail about it because I'm doing for my CCI routing and switching version 5. So CCI routing and switching version 4 to 5, there was a change, few changes, and most of the changes that you see in your CCNP route switch and T-shoot version 1 to version 2 are taken from that CCI version 4 to version 5 changes. So whatever changes they have made into version 4 to version 5 for CCI routing and switching, few things from there they have taken into CCNP. So they want you to prepare actually into the same thread so that the topics that we are going to cover into CCIE exam, you should actually have a brief introduction into the CCNP course itself. So this VPN is this GRE, TM we are going to cover everything. This is a part of your new CCI. Yes, any question?
No.
Okay, so then further down, the security that we are going to do, like how to put PTY, auxiliary console, and AAA radius, and few filtering using your access list and infrastructure services, where we're going to cover. This is going to be very important section, 20% of part we are going to do, because here most important topics are NTP, your netting, SLA, SLA with ICMP, and one more very important topic is this SNMP, and along with this syslog and debugs. So we are going to do all these topics. This is the end of this blueprint. So you can have it. I have shared the link with you. You can just click it on your own track. And in the same manner, you can go to switch blueprint, which I will take when we will continue with switching. Now, I was talking about the studying process. First of all, the classroom training. Then second thing that you should actually use. This is something that I'm telling for you guys. If you really want to learn these technologies, in depth of these technologies, you should follow this. Then Cisco documents. Did you guys know, or did you guys use Cisco documents before?
Not much.
Next thing is gonna be the RFC. Okay. So
What is this?
yeah, these are the main study resources that are going to be for you. Now, I'll talk about these things before. See, it's really important. In the first session, it's really good to talk about these things because you should know how you can learn more and more about a topic, about a technology that you're going for, and in the most appropriate way, because here we are going to use the genuine resources that are going to give us genuine information about the topic. Okay, so let me give an example, guys, for this. In CCNA, when you learn in CCNA, any of you guys, any of you are going for CCI routing and switching exam? Means anyone for CCI routing and switching? No one, right?
No.
Okay. But I'll tell you one thing. If you want, you can actually prepare in CCNP itself the topic that are actually a part of your CCI routing and switching exam. You can actually complete most of those topics into your CCNP itself, if you want, if you wish, because I'm not going to cover all the topics of CCI routing and switching here. I'm only going to cover the CCNP, but I'm actually telling you the path, the way you can actually learn those topics which are going to be a part of your CCI track here itself. How you can do that? Let's say here in CCNA, guys, if I ask you what were the protocols that you learned into routing, remember we are into routing and switching track. You just need to remember we are into routing and switching track. So the thing that we are going to talk is, as I already told you, we are only going to talk about two devices, switches, routers and switches, and we are going to talk about the technologies that are going to work only on routers and switches. Guys, if I ask you what were the topics in routing that you covered, if I'm not wrong, then you might have done static routing, okay? You might have done
Yeah.
default routing, then you might have done your dynamic routing protocols like your RIT, your EIGRP, and then you would have done OSPF. Any other routing protocol did you do? Guys, if you have any other routing protocol that you did in your CCNA class, can you tell me? Because there's no other routing protocol that is actually officially a part of the CCNA. Because only one routing protocol is left, which is EGP, that is BGP, which is not at all a part of the CCNA. So I think you guys would have done only these three routing protocols, right? The
Yeah.
major part that you might have covered would have been the SRIP, EIGRP, and OSPF. Guys, I would request you to all, because I'm not getting acknowledgement from everyone. So whenever I ask you something, please at least post a chat message, okay, on that, so that I can actually uh, get an acknowledgement from everyone. So this RIP, EIGRP, and OSPF, we have. I think these are the three protocols, right? I'll tell you one thing. In CCNP, routing and switching, in CCNP routing and switching, you're going to learn about the same protocols, right? You just now had a look on the blueprint, right? You just now had a look on the topics that we are going to cover into CCNP routing and switching. Cisco asked you to learn same topics like RIP, EIGRP, OSPF, correct? I'll tell you one more thing. In CCI routing and switching exam, all these topics are there. You learn RIP, EIGRP, OSPF. In CCNP, we'll also include one more topic, one more routing protocol that's going to be the BGP. Not much of BGP. We'll cover way beyond what is actually required for your certification. But in CCNP, we have this extra routing protocol that we are going to do. In CCI routing and switching, we are going to learn about the same protocol. Okay, so what you have learned in CCNA, these three protocols, you did your routing. Routing is done, right? Nothing else you did in your routing for CCNA. RIP, EIGRP, OSPF, routing for CCNA done. RIP, EIGRP, OSPF, BGP, routing for CCNP done. RIP, EIGRP, OSPF, BGP, routing for CCI routing part is done. We have other topics, not just this topic. In CCI routing, we have QoS, quality of service, we have multicasting, we have MPLS, we have PMVPN, more detail. We have a few, like huge number of topics that we have. But in routing part, I'm specifically talking about the routing part, is just based on this. So guys, now I'm coming to what is actually you should know, that why I'm telling you all this thing, because I want you to learn from now on. I don't know what you have done in your CCNA and how much you were actually serious about your classes. If you want to really learn about these things, I want you to prepare for these protocols. Okay, I want you to prepare for these protocols, not for any certification. Okay, the eventual goal. Remember, don't take this wrong. Eventual goal, if you're going for CCI data center certification, if your target is CCI DC, if your target is CCI security, if your target is CCNP routing and switching, um, that certificate, no problem with that. But right now, when you are actually starting the journey towards those certifications, don't worry about any certification. Don't worry about that you are going to attempt any certification, because the important part is to learn the technology, not to get that piece of paper, right? It is important to get certification. That is really important, right? I'm not saying that's not important. That's really equally important. But with that, you should actually know the technology, right? So here, what I'm saying is, let's say when you are learning now, when why I'm telling you this, that don't think about certification, because when you're learning about RIP, okay, let's say I started RIP into the class, learn everything, the most things that you can learn about RIP, more and more things that you can find the information on RIP, learn that. When you are learning EIGRP, learn EIGRP. When you are learning OSPF in your classroom, learn OSPF. When you're doing BGP into classroom, learn BGP. Don't think that I'm studying for any NP or CCI routing and switching. Because I already told you why. Because if you're learning all this four protocol, in depth of this four protocol, you never know. You never know that when you are actually ready for your CCNA routing part, for your CCNP routing part, and for your even for your CCI routing part. Did you understand? Okay, did you get this? What I'm trying to convey to you is learn the technology, not just the certification. Because another example, if you are reading CCNA routing and switching book, CCNA is foundation, so it's good when you're learning actually the at that point of time when you're learning, that's it's good that you actually learn only about CCNP. But when you come to CCNP, you should actually go into more and more depth about these technologies. Okay, so did
Mm.
you understand? Everyone, please acknowledge everyone. Did you understand what I'm trying to uh,
Yeah.
tell you? And if you have any question on this, I'll tell you how to get and how to actually learn in depth of this protocol. That is uh, my job to tell you, and that is my job to take you there. But if you are interested in that, okay, so if you are just looking for some certification, you can actually even now you can clear any certification, because you know that dumps and other solutions are always available for these certifications, right? So
Yeah.
you're not here for that.
What is this RFC documents?
Yes, I'm going to talk about these things. That's what gonna take you to the in depth of these things.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about them. Still, I'll tell you how to actually get documents. Remember one thing first of all, we actually most of the time whenever we have any question, let's say I'm talking about OSPF, DR, and BDR. You guys might have heard this concept into OSPF, right?
No.
No, no one.
Maybe.
Yes, guys, no one did this concept of DR and BDR. Yes. So Sayyid is telling it was there. Then I,
Mhm.
yes. So who said no actually? Ali?
Yeah, actually, I was about to tell you that my CCNA is not 100% finished because this class was starting from today, so they recommend me to join this one, and they can cover up on weekends. Like there are a few topics left, and
Okay.
I might need like 10 hours to complete those things.
Okay.
So.
See, for anyone, I'm telling you guys, for anyone, not only for Ali, I'll tell you personally to everyone. I have four guys today, right? Ali, Sayed, Janardhanan, and Vikram. I'm telling you, even if you miss any topic into CCNA, don't worry
Mhm.
about that. See, if you have missed IP address, what is IP address, what is OSI model, I'm not gonna take those things again because that is
Mhm.
something I really don't like because that is really basics. Okay, so that
Uh-huh, yeah.
if you have covered those things, I'm going to cover. If you have if you have missed your RIP, EIGRP, OSPF, or in switching if you have missed VLANs, trunking, BTP, STP, MST, RSTP, BBST, or FHRP, frame relay, network address translation, or any other topic that's a major topic that's going to be a part of NP. You don't need to worry about that because I'm not going to take any topic directly. I'm not going to talk about the expert level thing into that topic because I'm always going to take you from the basics. So it will be like CCNA, CCNP. First, I will start with an NA foundation. Like if you're talking about OSPF, I'll talk about OSPF first, the concept first, then I'll dig deep into that. Okay, because uh, I was, I'm not sure that what are the things that you have covered. So I'll take you in that way. Okay, so don't worry about if you have missed anything. Okay, okay, Ali.
Mhm. All right, thank you.
So what I was talking is OSPF, DR, and BDR thing. Let's say I was talking about them. Now, whenever you have a question about, let's say I have a question about DR and BDR, you go to Google, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, you just go to Google and search what is OSPF, DR, and BDR. But there you have different blogs, different websites, thousands and thousands of results that Google will display. But I'll tell you, those blogs have genuine information. Most of the time, they have good information about the things. But sometimes these blogs are written by people like us, right? So you cannot actually 100% of time trust on those blogs that they're giving the right information because I have personally seen few blogs they provide uh, wrong information about the technology. So what is the recommended way? It is always, I'll give you an example. If you buy a Nokia phone, okay, if you buy a Nokia phone, if you want to learn all the features, functions, and everything about this Nokia phone, will you go to Samsung and ask the document related to a Nokia phone? No, they are not going to provide you that. And if you, even if they are providing you, they cannot provide you the actual genuine information about that phone. And even if you search on Google, you go to different websites and you get thousands of results, but those results are not actually 100% completely varied for your all the functions and features for Nokia phone. But if you go to Nokia.com, if you go to Nokia.com and get a document for that specific release, right? Let's say I'm talking about Nokia phone, let's say 3550 phone, the series 3550 phone. When you go to Nokia.com, you search for the documentation for that specific product release, you get everything, all the detail about that phone, right? No one can provide you better information than the vendor itself. So if your vendor, if your device vendor is Nokia, then go to Nokia because that's what is going to give you the best information. Okay. Why I'm telling that? Because remember I told you the second thing. First was classroom training in my resources list for learning. First was classroom training. Second was Cisco documents. Guys, you all know that the certification that we are learning here is CCNP routing and switching, right? And what does CCNP stands for? Cisco Certified Network Professional. Who is the vendor of this certification? The technology, Cisco,
Yes.
right? Who can provide you better information about a Cisco router or a Cisco switch? Better
Cisco.
information than Cisco, right? No one. So it's always recommended whenever you have a doubt, guys. You don't need to go to Google. You don't need to go to some other. See, blogs are always good because there people share their real time experience and they talk about the technology in much more different ways. So it's good to actually read different blogs. I'm not telling you that you should not go there, but whenever you are actually learning, the first time when you're learning a technology, uh, always first preference should be given to the Cisco documents. Okay, so that's why I mentioned Cisco documents. And in Cisco documents, I would recommend uh, for you guys two documents that you should actually have. The one is command reference guide, and the second is going to be configuration guides. Okay, don't worry, I'll take you to Cisco's website. Remember, one more thing I would like to tell you. No matter which track you are going, if you are going for a CCI certification, okay, if you're going for CCI certification, in the exam, you have access. Again, I'm repeating, in CCI exam, you have access to these documents. You can go to cisco.com, you can go to these documents and take any help you want. Okay, so it's really important. But even few guys, they go but they don't actually know where to get the documentation, where to get the actual document that they are looking for. So when they don't know, because they just mug up the things and they go for the exam. So you should not go like that. Okay, you should actually learn the technology, then only go for the exam. Okay, so these documents you can use in your CCI exam. So it's really good to know about these documents. Guys, did you? I'm asking everyone. Did you use or did you hear about these documents before?
No.
Anyone?
No.
Yes, Sayed. What about you? Yes, Sayed have heard. So good. Okay. So I'll take you to cisco.com and where to get this information. I'll let you know. Then the last resource for your studies should be RFC. RFC stands for request for comment, guys. And RFC are the documents which are openly available for everyone. See, as I gave you this example that when you're buying a Cisco product, Cisco router, no one can give you better information than Cisco. But let's say I'm talking about OSPF. Okay, so Cisco has its own implementation for OSPF, right? But OSPF, is it a Cisco proprietary protocol, guys? OSPF, is it a Cisco proprietary or open standard? What do you mean by open standard? Open standard means a protocol, a technology that is available for everyone to use. OSPF is an open standard protocol. Okay, when OSPF is an open standard protocol, that means anyone can use this technology because it is openly available. So let us say Ali was the developer of OSPF. Okay, our Ali was actually developing this OSPF protocol for the routing. So when Ali was developing OSPF protocol, he took a pen and paper. Okay, when Ali started developing this protocol, he took a pen and paper and he wrote in that document everything each and every detail information about that protocol. Okay, he said how this protocol is built, what are the functions that protocol can do, what are the features, what are the components that the protocol can do. So each and every detail he wrote into that document, and then he submitted that document to some organization called IETF.org, who are international organization to manage all these open standard technologies. Okay, so he took that document and he gave it to, because he wanted, because when Ali was developing this protocol, he wanted everyone to use it. He wanted everyone to use it, that anyone in this world can come and they can use this protocol. So he took that document and he wanted to share this document to everyone. Just like whenever you want to share information about someone uh, to everyone, you go to Wikipedia and upload about them, right? So that everyone can read. So when he developed this document, he wrote the document, he took it to www.ietf.org, which stands for Internet Engineering Task Force. He took that document to ietf.org and he said, take this document and I've developed this protocol and make this protocol open standard, which can be used by any different vendor in this world. IETF took it and IETF gave that document a number, because IETF has a lot more other documents to manage. So they gave a number to each document. So they gave a number 2328 to OSPF. Okay, this document is called RFC, request for comment. So you need to know actually for the each and every technology, each and every protocol which is open standard, each and every open standard protocol will have its own RFC number, and this is the exactly same. This is not for instance. This is the actual RFC number for OSPF. Okay, you might or you might not have heard about this. This is RFC 2328 is for OSPF version 2, and the developer of this protocol was not Mr. Ali. The developer of this protocol was someone called John T. Moy. Most important protocol, guys, to learn into your routing: CCNA routing, CCNP routing, and CCI routing. Most important protocol, IGP, I'm talking. IGP protocol is going to be OSPF. Did you understand, guys, RFC?
Yeah.
Everyone? Yes, Mr. Ali.
Yeah.
Okay, and Vikram. Up to now, any question, guys? Everyone, please acknowledge. Please. Yes. So, who else we have? Yeah. So everyone is with me up to this point. So let me take you. Yes, Vikram. CCI. What CCI? No, no, no. CCNA and CCI exam pattern is not same. What I'm saying is the technology is, see, I'm talking about CCNA routing and switching. Then you can move into CCNP routing and switching, which we are talking. And then we can move into CCIE routing and switching. So this is same, routing and switching, routing and switching. So the protocols, routing protocols covered into CCNA are RIP, EIGRP, and OSPF. In CCNP, RIP, EIGRP, OSPF, and BGP. And CCI routing and switching, RIP, EIGRP, OSPF, and BGP. So syllabus is different for each certification. Syllabus is different, but we have topics like in routing, we have RIP, OSPF, EIGRP, in CCNA. We have much more detail about those protocols into CCNP. We have much more detail about the same protocols into CCI. That's what I'm talking. Don't think that syllabus is same. If syllabus is same, then who will go for IE? Everyone will go for just for CCN and they will have knowledge up to CCI level, right? So this is like the how much in depth and how deep you dive into the technology. Okay, so few topics are same. That's what I'm talking. In routing, the routing protocols are three routing protocols that you use actually in IGP, RIP, EIGRP, and OSPF that you learn into CCNA are same for NP, same for IE into much more detail as per their level. Clear, Vikram? Yes, Vikram, are you clear with this? Vikram, can you hear me? Hello? Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, what happened to Vikram? He asked question and where did he go then?
I think he has some bandwidth issue.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so guys, when you go to when you want to get these RFC collections, these RFC documents, there are currently more than 7,000 RFCs that you have on this IETF.org, and these RFCs you can actually download from www.ietf.org itself. So guys, make proper notes, everyone. I'm telling you this to everyone, that make proper notes. You should actually know what to do and where to get all those documents from. And for each and every topic that we're going to do, you should make very good notes. I can even check your notes. Okay, so please make good notes, everyone. Everyone should note it down, because see, you have recorded video that you can listen for thousands of times, but the hard copy that you have, that cannot be replaced by any video series. And when you write down something on your own, you actually take it into more deeply into your memory. So it is really recommended to make proper notes. Okay, so don't just listen me. Okay, don't just think that you are just listening to some uh, recorded videos, because it's like one-to-one for everyone. So here you should actually make very good notes like classroom. Okay. So I'll go to, you can actually go to ietf.org, or you can also go to one other site called rfc-editor.org. You can note it down, rfc-editor.org. I'll also paste this link to the chat. Okay. Then click on RFC database. Then when you go to RFC database, below down here, you have this option of download the RFC collection, and this can be into your zip file, and there are different formats actually. This format is going to be the PDF format, and this file is not going to take more than 150 160 MB of your hard disk space. So here we have around, see, as you can see the numbers, we have around more than 7,000 RFCs currently available. But don't worry, this is not something that all the RFCs you need to open and study, because one RFC can have 500, 600, 300, 200, 100 or 1,000 even pages of information. But remember, that is not something that you should actually just open and learn, because RFCs are the documents, as I told you, that those are written by the actual people who are actually working on those technologies. So they cover a lot and lot of information. The RFC are the document that you should keep in your hard drive, and whenever you have problem with some concepts, whenever you want to learn more depth of some topic, and whenever you want to uh, read much more detail about any topic, you should actually refer to RFC. That will clear all of your doubts. Okay, so that way we should use. So here, when you go to this link, you just need to click on zipped, and when you click on zipped folder, it will be a compressed file of 160 of some MB. So I just need to click on this start download. I'm not doing it because I already have it on my computer. Okay guys, so I'll paste this link actually. Either you can go to that link, or I'll also give you this link on the chat. You can actually copy and paste on some notepad on your computer. So this will take you directly to the RFC collection that will give you all the 7,000 and even more than that RFCs to download. Okay guys, so this is about RFC. Let me show you one RFC that what information it has. So I'll show you like the same example which I've taken, like OSPF RFC. As I told you that OSPF was a protocol that was developed by IETF itself. Okay. And the RFC specification for OSPF was written by Mr. John Timor. And he has also written few more books about RFC, OSPF. So OSPF is really huge to learn, because as I'm telling you that there's a book called Anatomy of Internet Protocol. So that I will give you specific book. Can you imagine? Specific book only for OSPF protocol. Okay, so these all certification are not going to give you everything about these protocols. It's only up to you guys how much you want to learn. There are a lot of information to learn. So we will be preparing ourselves in such a manner, such a way that we should be able to do any task, any thing related to at least the topic, the one which is a part of our course. So here, this is the complete list of your RFC, and you will download that collection. That collection will give you these many PDFs. Okay. So here, I just searched for the RFC. What was the number of OSPF RFC? 2328, right? As I've written here, 2328. So if I search for that, which is already there in the search option, I'll just select it. So you can see here, this is RFC 2328. This RFC was written for OSPF version 2. Okay, as I mentioned here, this RFC was written for OSPF version 2. There are two versions for OSPF, OSPF v2 and OSPF v3. There was a version of OSPF version 1 as well, but that was never implemented into the real world. Okay, we are going to use only OSPF v2 and OSPF v3. OSPF v2 is actually to route IPv4 packets. Okay, and OSPF v3 is to route IPv6 packet. So whenever you enable OSPF implementation with your IPv6, you are actually enabling OSPF v3. And then IPv4, you use OSPF v2. So this was developed by the specification, all the RFCs for v3, v2, and v1. So they were the first RFC was written by this guy itself, John Timor. That was 11.3.1 for OSPF. Then he wrote another RFC for OSPF version 2. That was 12.4.7. Then the current specification is 2.3.2.8 for IPv4 for OSPF version 2. So when he was working for SN Communication in 1998, he wrote this RFC. So when I open this, you can actually get this document, OSPF version 2. This document is dedicated to that. Then request for comment 2328. And the writer, the author of this is John Timor. The complete name, the full name is John Timor. They are mentioned John Moy, J. Moy. And when he was working for SN Communication in 2008. So what this document has the information is something beyond your expectation, which is like, so much into depth. You can can see here introduction, protocol overview, and then each and everything into the detail about OSPF. So this document is, you can see it's a 244 pages document, which is going to cover details only about OSPF. Good guys, let me close it. One more example I can take for, as you say, RIP. You might have done RIP in your CCNA. RIP, the RFC specification is 2453, and this is for RIP version 2 actually. This was written by G. Markin when he was working for Pay Networks. It's 2453 request for comment document, and this covers detail about your RIP version 2. Not a big RFC, you can see only 39 pages are there, but that also going to cover all the theory part of it. Okay, not the configuration, because configuration implementation will be provided to you by whom? Cisco,
Cisco.
because these all protocols are used by Cisco, and Cisco has their own implementation specification for these protocols. So guys, everyone, did you understand everything, that why we are talking this much about how to do your study? Because this is very important. We just start the topic and we just do the little bit of everything, but we don't actually squeeze that topic. We don't actually take everything from the topic, which is actually required to be a good uh, technician into the specific technology. No matter which technology you learn, you should actually learn it this way. So I'll take a short break, guys. I'll take 5 minute break. Okay, then we'll continue with the Cisco documents and all. Okay, I'll take
Okay,
it.
one thing.
Yes. Yeah.
How do we know about this RFC number? For example,
That
if I want to
see,
look.
yeah, don't worry about that. See, it's like, as I told you, RFC number. You don't need to remember all the RFC numbers, because these all 7,000 RFCs are not just
Mhm.
related to your Cisco certification. These are related to different technologies into different fields. Okay, some from
No, I
software,
mean,
some networking. Yeah.
we will
So
listen. For
yeah. So now
example,
let's say, yeah. So what I'm saying is, let's say whatever topics that we are going to cover, actually, whatever topics that we know that this is an open standard protocol and we should actually know the RFC number. Whenever, let's say, I'm
Mhm.
doing RIP, I'll tell you what is the RFC number. I'm doing
Ah,
OSPF, I'll tell you what is the RFC number. When I'm doing
all
BGP,
right,
I'll tell you the RFC number. Okay, so don't worry about that. That I'll share with
all right.
you. Okay, guys. So I'll take a 5 minute break, then we'll be back. Okay, so don't go anywhere. We'll meet at the same place. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.
Yes. Hello, guys.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, everyone is here.
Yeah.
Yes, Vikram, Janardhanan, everyone. Yes, Ali, Sayed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Okay, so here I was talking about these two things that is also very important, and this is something that is even more important than RFCs. Okay, because we are learning for Cisco certification, so we should actually learn OSPF, RIP, all those open standard protocol also from the Cisco's perspective, Cisco's specification. So those two documents, command reference and configuration guide, what are those two documents actually? There are many more other documents, but this is something that you should actually give so much of importance. So configuration guide and command reference. So what are these things? You OSPF, RIP, EIGRP, and BGP. Guys, these are going to be the four protocol that we are going to cover into our CCNP track. Now, when I'm learning about OSPF, we have a command reference and configuration guide for each protocol. So let's say I have downloaded configuration guide and command reference for OSPF. What we are going to have into these two documents, this configuration guide will have all the possible configuration. Let's say I'm downloading for 15.2 release. Okay, 15.2. This is the iOS releases, and iOS is the software that runs inside the Cisco boxes. Boxes I'm talking about routers and switches. So let's say I'm downloading this document for OSPF for the 15.2 release. This configuration guide will cover each and every possible configuration of OSPF on this particular platform. Let's say you want to enable OSPF. How to enable OSPF? It will take you a few details. First of all, about the protocol, then the implementation, basic implementation. Then it will keep on talking about the protocol step by step. Then in command reference, we are going to cover all the possible commands about that protocol. So, so if you learn about OSPF, RIP, EIGRP, and BGP with those two documents, let's say I have learned OSPF from the command reference. Did you left even a single command that is not covered? No, because this command reference will have everything about OSPF. This command reference for RIP will have every command for RIP, every command for EIGRP before that specific release. So let me show you how does that look like and where to get those documents. So when you go to cisco.com, you go below down and under support you have this link called documentation. Click on that and there you will get this page. Here you can download all the documents either product wise or technology wise. In CCI exam you don't have access to technology wise documentation. This is like open to all the software releases. It is not just limited to one release. This is for every release. This product is specific to the iOS. So if you go to product iOS, then you click on iOS and NXOS software. Again, this link I'll copy and share in the chat room. This will take you to this page, and then you need to click on iOS. Then let's say we are going to download. Just for example, I'm taking some pin.s. Let's say e pin.2e and pin.2. means any release. Just for example, I'm taking here. So here you can see we have this configuration guide section for all of these different technologies. So what we are looking for here is, you can see IP routing, BGP configuration guide, EIGRP configuration guide, WSPF configuration guide, and even RIP should be there. Okay. So RIP might not be supported on that particular platform, so they are not giving. Okay. So if I take you to some other release, okay, so I'll show you how to get these documents from Cisco.com, both the document, command reference, and configuration guide. And then topic for your CCNP routing and switching will start from tomorrow. Okay, so I'll start with IP routing tomorrow. Okay, basic IP routing functions. What is actually IP routing? So, for example, I'll just take this previous release so that it will have all those documents and click on any of the release. You can click. Then here you can see under IP routing section. IP routing section, you can get this BGP command reference, EIGRP, ISIS, ODR, OSPF, and RIP. Every command reference you can see. So let's say I want Cisco iOS RIP configuration guide. So when you download this document, you can just click on that, start download, and the time that it's getting download, I will also go to the command reference, which you can find out on the same page. Yes, I'll copy the URL. And you should actually, I should actually copy this URL because that was only for RIP. Okay, the previous one for only RIP, and for all guides for 12. Let's copy this. So then if I click on this command reference directly, and here I should be able to get, yes. So this is IP routing, which has all this command reference. So I'll click on IP RIP command reference, download the complete book, start download. Then I'll show you the document what actually has. That's my RIP command reference, guys. So what this book has, check this. If you go down, this book has See from here, rip commands. All these commands that are actually possible on this particular release. Some of the commands you might have learned into your CCNA, like how to enable rip, router rip, right? And no auto summary command, and few more commands you might have done into your CCNP course. Right? Network command we use, neighbor command we can use. We're going to cover a lot of things. Okay, whatever is available in these documents, we are not going to cover into the class. Okay, classroom will be the. I will try to cover more and more as much as I can. But remember, this is something that I'm telling for you guys that you should, if you want, if you are really interested into learning the in-depth of the technology, in-depth of this protocol, you can actually learn through this way. Okay, I will try the most possible way to give you the most information about each and every topic, but not everything I can cover. No one can cover everything in the classroom because we have the time. So it's only up to you that how much you want to learn. So that I'm sure. So let's say I want to learn that what does this command do? IPRIP V2 broadcast. So when you click on this command, a very detailed information about this command you can see. To allow routing information protocol version 2 update packets to be sent as broadcast instead of a multicast packet, use the IPRIP V2 broadcast command in interface code. These all are the commands that I'm going to cover in your NP itself. Basically, all the command reference when you finish, it's done with your CCI. But this is a small protocol. RIP is not that big. You can see only 62 page command references there. So when you go to the interface, you say IP or IPv2 broadcast. Your RIP version 2 will start sending RIP updates onto the broadcast address, not the multicast, which it uses by default. Now, more detail about this command. It has that when this command was introduced, okay, then what mode you should actually put. That's going to be interface configuration. They are telling that it should be configured. And also users guidelines are there, right? How you should put this command, what this command actually do. And then they also gave you the configuration example. So you go to router RIP, version 2, network this, you enable, and if you want to do the command interface Ethernet 3/1, you put IP address and you say IP or IP version 2 broadcast. So this is something really nice and into step by step. This is available for all the commands. Okay? All the commands. So this is what you have into the command reference. If I take you to the configuration guide and open it, this also has a lot of good information. So let's say I'm looking for how to configure IP or IP v2 broadcast. Same command. Did I open the same document or what? I think I opened the same document. That was this one. This one. Okay, both the documents are downloaded the same, not the configuration guide. So let's go back to the same page. So there was no configuration guide actually in our document. I have downloaded command reference by mistake. The configuration guide, I'll click on configuration guide, and in this list I should be able to get IP or IP. Yes, here IP routing, the configuration guide. This is the document from our configuration guide. So if you go down, you check RIP overview, RIP routing updates, and other things. When you click on RIP, this will give you brief information, a little bit of theory also about the topic. And when you go down, this will take you in a very step-by-step manner the enabling process of this. So you can check how beautifully they have presented the information, enabling RIP and configuring RIP parameters. You say first step is enable, then you type configure terminal, then you type router rib, then you put your network command. Then neighbor command also you can put offset list, timer basics, and what are the use of those commands? You can actually go down and detail step. When you type step one, enable, that gives you to enter your password if prompted to enter into the privileged exec mode. Then when you type configure terminal, you go to global configuration mode. When you type router rib, that enables the rib process globally on the router itself. Then, so here like step by step information is given beautifully. The information is given for different topics into your protocol. Okay, so this is something that I'm gonna take into the classroom, not the documents. The information that I'm going to tell you is not going to be only from this document. That's going to be the mix up of everything like RFCs, uh, uh, videos, blogs, and your documents, like whatever resources I've used for my studies. That's what I'm going to give you guys. But these documents and these RFCs, these resources, I've told you that or if you really want to learn uh, in depth of these protocols, this technology, you should actually learn this way. Okay, guys. So I'll stop here today. Tomorrow we'll start the topic with IP routing. So tomorrow I'll see you guys at same time, 6 o'clock. Okay, 6 o'clock, like in Indian timing. Same timing that is given to you for your specific time zone. So guys, up to now, any question, everyone? Everyone, Ali, Syed, Janardhan. We don't have Vikram, I think. Vikram, are you there? Yes, guys. Ali, Syed, Janardhan.
Yes, Pavan. Pavan, just a question. So, how long this training? I mean, how many hours
That I'm
this
not
will
sure.
be?
That I need to talk to Rajesh. Rajesh might have told you already, right?
No, he did not actually. I want to check with you. Okay, and
Me,
he
for
asked
me,
me to
it
check
would be
for
like,
you.
yeah, I'll check with him, like if he has fixed some timing, because then we have to go for the timing. Otherwise, we have to finish the topic, right? So I'll go most of the time with the topics, not with the timing.
Okay, and any possibility of changing the timing little bit late to 7 a.m. And he wants you to check in the class.
See, I don't know whether these guys are fine. Ali and Sayed, what about you guys? Are you fine if we start 1 hour late?
Well, it will be late for me basically. And actually, Ali is joining at 3:30 his time, so you can understand the situation. And it's 4:30 my time. So even Ali is, taking it up early because he has to go to the job. And same case with me.
Okay.
So
Okay,
if you
guys.
guys, but for
I
you guys, it's 6 o'clock at least. Ali is joining at 3:30. Imagine his situation. I'm
Mhm.
okay. 4:30, fine.
Yes. What about you, Ali? Ali, can you hear me? This guy. This guy is not responding. Ali, you there?
Yeah. Sorry, my mic was mute. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, I think for me, 6 to 8, the Indian Standard Time is fine for me because I'm joining from here at 3:30, and it's not easy for me to wake up at 3:30 and join a class. But to learn something, uh, and if you make any changes in this time, it will really affect my job and this
Okay,
working
okay.
hours for my.
Okay, Janardhan, I think you only have to adjust the timing because uh, these guys are like they are waking up in the night and then they're doing the training.
Okay, yeah, I got it, Pavan. I'll check with Rajesh if he can have any other batch who is going to start
Yes, yes.
at 7 a.m.
Yeah, yeah. If someone else is starting the batch, we'll let you know. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
sure. Guys, any question for me if you have whatever we discussed?
Uh, I think nothing for today now.
Yes, Sayed, Janardhan.
Not. I don't have anything.
No, good. I'm good.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
All right.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Okay.
Take
Bye.
care.
Thank you.